I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. We get these little leaks of the JJ cut and things like that, which is super believable because, I mean, it seems like he had much more of a elaborate ending at the end there with the whole melt your mind kind of thing that kept, going out with Rise of Skywalker that was coming out. Then we get stuff on Forbes from this dude who I don't know who he is, but he says, release the JJ cut is wrong and stupid. You can see the JJ cut in your local multiplex now, meaning the original one that's in theaters. Note, this tweet was not written by a rando on Reddit with a source, but a journalist who has been in the biz for 17 years and has a real sources on this production. So I guess he's talked to some people, whoever this guy is, but I mean, it's really hearsay. It's like, who do I believe at this point? So with that being said, take this with a grain of salt, and I want to read this article that's got their own source. At this point, I'm just... I hope we get it, okay? But it seems like, and this was a theory that I had earlier, that they're going to be taking the Endgame route. So we got Endgame that came out, and then, just near the tail end of it after however many months or weeks that was out in theaters. They wanted to beat Avatar, so they released it again with extra footage, never-before-seen footage, more footage, basically. And that seems to be like what this person is alluding to or what they have heard from their inside sources. So let's read it and then we can be our own judge here. For J.J. Abrams, it was whiplash. Disney wanted to deliver a movie that would make up for the last one, but after all the sequences and cameos were shot, they were told it couldn't all fit into the 140-minute goal they didn't want to exceed. This article also, and I'm going to paraphrase, also goes to state that Disney didn't want a 3-hour plus film because it wouldn't allow for theaters to sell as many showtimes, right? If you have a 3-hour film versus a 2.5-hour film or a 3.5-hour film, obviously you'll only have so many shows, like 3 shows per day, let's say, versus, 4 or 5 with a 2.5-hour screening. And exceed they did. The cameos and callbacks were so numerous it was too much to pack into a film, yet JJ didn't want to let anyone down. Some felt that they had overdone the fan service to the point of ridiculousness, mandating the return of characters like Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan, Samuel Jackson's Mace Windu, Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn, Jake Lloyd's Anakin Skywalker, which I thought it would be Hayden Christensen, so I don't know, and even a trip back to the Sarlacc pit. There were sequences shot on Endor that were referenced in The Rise of Skywalker, yet only showed up in a 3-second wide shot featuring some of the Ewoks, which is true. It was a really quick scene. I wish we saw more of the planets and stuff like that, but it is what it is. While Disney did mandate a return for the Emperor, there were even more characters who landed in footage that was cut out of the final released cut. A Cloud City reference brought back Lobot alongside Billy D. Williams, Lando, but was cut for time. A Wampa cameo was removed at the last minute, and a secret Boba Fett connection was said to have also been written, shot, but never finished in post. But let's get back to that 192-minute J.J. Abrams cut. So here it is. According to the editor of The Rise of Skywalker, Mary Ann Brandon, they barely had the time to get the current cut into theaters. So seems like it was rushed or something, which it did feel rushed. They wanted to do so much more, as was witnessed by the rushed opening to the film and according to anonymous sources on the inside, as the reviews and backlash had begun to build around The Rise of Skywalker and the not-so-great critical reviews, the lowest out of the entire 9 films. Disney brass began to change their tune. Maybe 192 minutes wasn't so bad if it meant there was an opportunity to bag even more box office like they'd done on Avengers Endgame by including additional footage 2 months into its release. The game plan had worked on Endgame, and as early as December 28th, the rumblings started to grow louder. What about releasing the extended version of The Rise of Skywalker into theaters around late January, after the fanboys and fangirls had already paid to see it once or twice? I saw it twice in theaters. The plan would be to release a longer version that included 3 to 5 additional sequences, then hint at the even longer director's cut for its digital and home entertainment release. With an exclusive run on Disney+, they would draw even more engagement by keeping those added sequences not in the re-release as exclusives to the service. That would clearly drive even more subscribers to the new streaming service as well. So here we sit with the JJ cut trending and the internet abuzz, wondering what's real and what's next. The word is this: Any extended version of The Rise of Skywalker will be announced in the coming week, releasing near the end of January, and including 3 to 5 additional sequences fit into the narrative. This should bring the cut up from 142 minutes to about 165 minutes. Rumored sequences to be included in this cut involve an extended Endor sequence that occurs before the final shot in the current film, Lobot and Lando in a sequence that predates the chase in the desert, and a slew of Ghost Jedi returning alongside Luke and Leia and participating in the final sequence to unseat the Emperor. This new cut will be simply treated as an extended cut and will include a post-credit sequence highlighting additional sequences that will be released with the official Blu-ray release of The Rise of Skywalker, which will have a special J.J. Abrams director's cut version of the film at 185 minutes. When The Rise of Skywalker enters the streaming window exclusively on Disney+, it will include an additional 7 minutes of extra footage that didn't get finished in post-production as a part of its exclusive run on the streaming upstart. This is what we're hearing here at SNTS. As we explained up top, this is from folks on the inside who tipped us anonymously. So you can take this as gospel or drivel. That's up to you. So, once again, I don't know if this is legit. I hope it is. I saw The Rise of Skywalker twice. This is the first time I really enjoyed it, from what we got after The Last Jedi. I've said this a million times. I thought it was great. Many things were missed. Many things could have been improved upon. But for what we got, it was good. And I say that because it fixed so much from The Last Jedi, which I really had a problem with. But by no means was it perfect, of course. This director's cut, seems like it could include what we're all missing, which is Anakin showing up at the end. That's all I want. Do that, and I promise you, every single Star Wars fan, at least for the most part, will probably shut up. All the hate, the bantering back and forth, it'll be a lot more quiet, that's for sure, okay? So maybe it won't shut up completely, but it'll be a lot more quiet. We just need to see those Force ghosts. That's something I wanted to see from the very beginning, and it's something that fans deserve. It will really tie everything together instead of just hearing voices. And the ending scene it just kind of felt like a reimagined Return of the Jedi, almost, just on a much smaller scale. That scene in Return of the Jedi, if you guys are new to the channel here, that's my favorite scene, and I've said that so many times in videos. In pretty much any movie, it's just such a beautiful scene, and it's very warm and open and inviting, and it's just a nice conclusion to 6 films. This sequel trilogy, for me, I see it as an extended thing that's not relevant to the first 6, but if they bring these Force ghosts in there, in the flesh, surrounding Palpatine, like I said in my Rise of Skywalker fanfiction, I think this would really tie in all 9 films. I think that's all that needs to be done, and if they do that, it'll be really great. Something I also would have liked to have seen was, spoilers, obviously, I imagine you've seen it by now. Han Solo, when he spoke to Kylo Ren, I would have liked for that part to be Anakin. I would have liked for Anakin's ghost to show up and speak to Ben directly, because Ben is sort of a spitting image of Anakin, or at least he wants to be like Anakin. So for me, I kind of feel it was very beautiful that Han showed up, as a memory that Leia was projecting, and that's why she died, by the way, but I would have liked to see Anakin, or at least maybe Anakin could have shown up afterwards or something like that. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this rumor or whatever it might be. I hope it's real. I hope, they're going to be announcing at the end of January we'll get the extended cut in theaters. And, they did that with Endgame, and they made a lot more money. They beat Avatar, right? I think there's like over $2 billion or something. So they could do that with this one. Hey, why not? More money, and we get what we want. The scenes have already been shot, so let's just see it. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Have an awesome day, and may the Force be with you. See you later.